Alright, what's up everyone? I posted a story about updating my Rope Runner Vertec yesterday and got quite a bit of traction in my inbox. Wasn't really expecting that. So told several people I'd do a little review, and here we go. So the Notch Rope Runner Vertec came out into our lives, in last November. Reddit Expo is when it dropped, and the thing that was going around the internet, everybody realized that there was a bit of a hitch or a pinch point where it's been well documented, so I'm not going to beat this dead horse, but where the carabiner attaches to the device, this part here was just a little too short. So Notch came out with an updated friction plate. So I have two Vertex because I love it so much. I bought one when I heard a new one when I heard that the attachment point had changed, and then found out that you can buy the lower friction plate. So all that hard work I've done to get that spoon nice and good, now I get to start over. So just removing this Allen key, it flip the swing plate open, that pops off, put the new one on, comes with a fresh bolt, fresh bollard, but it clips on, and it's a little difficult maybe to see, but the attachment point is definitely a little bit longer. Right here's the side by side, right, so you can see how this beveled bit adds a little bit of length and keeps the carabiner from really making much of any contact at all. So I've been climbing on the other one for, well, it gives you how much wear I've got on it so far. I've had it for a couple weeks, so not anything crazy in terms of wear. It's definitely not running quite as smooth, which is a bummer. But one of the big things that I've noticed climbing on the Vertec is that if you treat it like it's the Rope Runner Pro, then you're not gonna probably like the Vertec all that much. So several people probably are familiar, but if you're not, for many years was a hitch-based climber. Really loved the rope wrench, had my rope wrench set up very dialed, and was very smooth with it. And then as mechanicals have become more and more a part of our day-to-day life, I in the industry as a whole, and especially in the comp scene, I started to work more mechanicals in, and spent a good bit of time on the Rope Runner Pro, but could never get that device to be as smooth for me as the rope wrench setup was. So when the Vertec came out, initially this lower bollard here, not being a pulley, I wasn't a huge fan of, just because the rope doesn't fall through the device the same way. The action of the way that the device works is great. Like I love that out of the box. The ability to change the friction on the bird without any tools is huge. But initially I really didn't like how the rope did not feed through the device. So with just spending more time on it, really these last 6 months, I have primarily only been climbing on the Vertec. Once I figured out how to tend the device to where it didn't pinch, like I was able to keep my Vertec from pinching. What I did notice is you can see the bottom of my friction plate on the old style, I think, is showing all that wear on the plate because of the way that I was pulling down and then feeding out. Very similar to how I would climb stationary rope on my rope wrench setup. and even still, like with this updated friction plate, I because it's kind of ingrained into my muscle memory from years of climbing on the rope wrench and then even adapting it into the Vertec. It it makes the device operate a lot smoother. Like, again, it's not the Rope Runner Pro. The rope's not going to fall through it. But I actually really enjoy the way this entire device works, to the point where I haven't been on my Rope Runner Pro but a handful of times over the last 6 months, mainly like when I needed a second system for weird projects and weird angles and stuff like that. But now that I have two Vertex, it's pretty much a done deal. Other than just trying out all these new devices that are coming out. But what I'm drawn to gravitate towards is the Vertec. Like it. I'm not a Notch athlete by any stretch of the imagination. It's just this is something I felt kind of compelled to do, is to talk about the device. Having the 3 friction points. I remember talking with Derek Martin about this early on, of how having that lower bollard is actually pretty nice for big swings. Big controlled swings in day-to-day work, but I've noticed even in just doing competition training that I adore this device, and again, it just makes me feel like I'm back on my rope wrench, like the way I'm able to control my movement in the tree. I have a little carabiner that I use to kind of help fair lead the rope into the Vertec when I'm dragging the tail rope through the tree, so that way it doesn't, the rope doesn't come down over a branch down into the device, even though the device still works perfectly fine. It's just I got dinged in comp for doing that, so I've just built that into my system. But anyway, yeah, you can I got the updated friction plate from off of Notch's website, and I'm not sure how long the deal's going on, but if you go onto their website, you can get, I think it's 20% off an updated friction plate. Now, it's important to note also that, like, just because this is available doesn't mean that the device, like if you have the old style, means that the device is somehow unsafe. It's totally safe to use. Had I not just heard from my buddy that there was an updated friction plate, I would have never known and would have kept climbing on this and been happy as a clam. But knowing that it exists, I happily switched the friction plate over, and now I'm, I guess, a happier version of a clam, making a bigger pearl, as it were, just because the carabiner doesn't want to pinch on this the same way. Like if you're running 11 mil ropes and running a skinny carabiner, maybe you're not having the same issue that a lot of us seem to have had. I'm a fanatic about the Petzl ball lock carabiners, especially on my climbing devices, and I climb on either 11.5 mil Courant Squeer or 11.9 millimeter Courant Kalimba. Those are basically the only things I climb on. And with the old friction plate, with this attachment point, it would catch hard if I wasn't intentional about pulling down on the rope and then out. Whereas this, with the updated, because the carabiner is able to rotate freely and not make contact with the rest of the body, I can just go kind of straight out a little bit more. Even if I am dragging tail, it doesn't want to, I guess it flows a little bit more smoothly, and yeah, it's just, it's great. It's I was gonna say it's not the cheapest device, but none of them are cheap anymore. So it there's a bunch of stuff out there. Find what works for you. hope this is helpful, but I imagine more places will start carrying the updated friction plate if they aren't already. ARB Session up here, you can reach out to the fine folks there, and they can probably help you out also. But yeah, hope you're having a great day, and hope this helps a bit. Get out there, climb some trees, do some training, especially everybody getting ready for ITCC, and yeah, have some fun and have a great day. Cheers.